Welcome to Gold Derby. I'm senior editor Denton Davidson here with the latest player eliminated from the Challenge 40 Battle of the Eras. Josh, you got far in the game, but it has to hurt going home that close to the final. It's kind of luck of the draw when you have to go against Cory and it's a sprint.
Yeah, dude, it sucked. Like as soon as I saw the elim, I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna be hard." But man, I feel it sucks because yet again I'm so close. Probably the fourth time that I get so close to a final and I don't make it. Um, because I feel like I played a really good game and I had a really good season. Even on the field competing, like I was always coming in third. I wasn't winning dailies, but I was always like right behind Jordan, right behind Colin. These guys were dominating the game. And it was, you guys see 30, 40 minutes of a challenge, but I'm saying the gaps would be 20, 30 minutes before the next guy would come in. So I'm like, damn, I'm doing really good. Um, so I really had a good season performance wise. It just, you know, crumbled right before my eyes, like I said. But it sucked. But I'm proud of Cory, man. My respect to Cory. In my eyes, Cory is one of the best, if not, he's definitely in my eyes top three people down in the sand. And this season he proved it. I mean, the guy dominated in the arena. So I'm if I had to go out to anybody in that elim, I'm glad it was Cory. Even though we're at odds in the game, I really don't know where our friendship stands right now. I'm not going to take away that he is truly one of the best in the sand. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah. And it just shows you how there has to be a little bit of luck in this game because I wish I could have seen Theo's face when he saw that. He's like, why didn't I get to race bananas instead of crawl through a skinny tube?
Dude, I wish I would have gone through the damn skinny tube. Honestly, I said this in my last interview, and I don't know how much I could touch base on it, but I experienced a really bad knee injury. So when I saw that it was a sprint, I was basically buying myself time to recover and heal. And we had like 3 weeks left, and the doctor told me it would take like 2 months. My knee was like the size of a softball at this point. Like I was competing and giving it my all in challenges because I really did. I was terrified of coming last place, but I was in so much pain that when I saw that it was a sprint, I remember looking at Rachel and I was like, just my luck. I can barely I'm going to give it my all. I don't give a fuck if my knee blows out. But once I saw it was a sprint and physical contact, I was like, if Cory just touches my knee, I'm going to it's going to be awful. So, um, I'm glad that I didn't quit. I'm glad that I didn't, half-assed it. I really did give my elimination that all, but I was in so much pain that it was really hard to get even down the sand. And I'm not taking anything away from Cory. Even if I was at 100%, do I think he still would have won? Yeah, most likely. That shit was set up for him. The guy was a college football player, one of the fastest guys the fastest guy running a sprint in that house. So yeah, it was definitely set up for him, but it sucked that I wasn't mentally or physically at my best, you know? So it kind of like I was that ate away at me because I'm like, damn, I got so close and now I experienced this injury and I'm kind of just surviving and it was really frustrating.
And you'd mentioned that you have something to prove in this game, but
Yeah,
specifically not to trolls online.
yeah,
I can't keep up with social media all the time, but I do know there's extreme trolling, especially of challenge players online. What's that
yeah.
like to take in every day?
Well, oof, to be honest with you, when I first started this show, and I've said this, my castmates know because and that's why they'll never understand our bond and they'll never understand it. And they're like, "How can you guys be friends?" But I'm like, at the end of the day, there's only one winner. We're gonna compete and rip each other's heads off, but we're also the only ones that understand what it is to be a challenger. In my first few seasons, I would say probably my first four, um, you would look at my social media and I look like the happiest person on earth. But the reality was I was dealing with the worst depression. And at the time I didn't even know it. And it was because of the hate that I was getting and the backlash that I was getting from the show. And I was just like, no, I'll just keep, I'm gonna get through it and I'm gonna come out on the other side. But I was down so bad. And now it's funny because now it's so crazy. I'm able to watch the comments and I kind of laugh at it. I'm like, okay, that's a good one. I'm like, all right, that was a good dig. But it took a lot. It took 7 years for me to fucking get to this point. Um, but yeah, it's like I have nothing to prove to these people. It's like they're watching their favorite sports team. They're gonna root for who they want to win. They have their favorite, they have their favorite team. They have their favorite competitor. So I look at it like that now. And at the end of the day, I've grown so much physically, mentally, just as a person, as a man, as a competitor, that this show has given me way more than a title. And my journey hasn't been one like I haven't made a final, I haven't won, but it's been one that I'm learning to embrace and be like, all right, my path is just harder than a lot of other people's. And even though I'm not the best, never claim to be the best, I am gonna be a better competitor with each and every season that I do. So I'm really proud of the game that I played socially and physically this season. I really gave it my all. Obviously in the end it didn't work out for me, but I'm just gonna come back stronger, and I'm excited to now in the offseason bust my ass to come back and make it happen for myself. Not prove anything to anyone, but prove to myself that I have what it takes to win this game and to make a final.
You mentioned the friends that you've made. Do you have
Yeah,
too many friends? Because you get in a
yeah,
lot of drama, Josh. I
yeah,
mean, you got into it with Tori a little bit. You
yeah,
upset Michelle. You mentioned you and Cory.
yeah.
He didn't think you had your back. So how do you get involved in all the drama?
Oh, dude, I damn, it's tough because I obviously had my strong ties with going into the season with the Vacation Alliance, and that was my crew. But I also had, Rachel and Johnny that are really good friends of mine. So when those two sides came to a head, it was the most uncomfortable position to be in. It was like so awkward. I wanted to disappear and like Homer Simpson, like sink into the bushes and like just let it die out. But um, it was really hard. But at the same time, like, dude, that's just who I am as a person. I connect with people. I build friendships. I'm not going around I love how people say, oh, he's making promises. Like Kylan said, it's like, oh, you can't be aligned and work with everybody. I'm like, everybody in here is doing the same fucking thing. Like, Cory's looking for a number one at the end game. Jordan's working with every single girl. Kylan, because the other half of the girls didn't want to work with him. That's the only reason why he was in the position that he had Michelle and Cara, because all the other girls didn't want to work with him. So it was interesting that all these people were throwing jabs when a lot of guys were playing the same exact game. The only one that it was clear as day where they stood was Johnny. Johnny was like, all right, I got my angels, I'm riding with them. But at that point in the game, it was really frustrating. Do I think that I have a lot of friends? Yeah, I do, but that's the blessing. Don't be mad at me that I'm going to use my relationships to my advantage. Like,
Yeah.
make better friends, have a better personality. I don't know. Be a
How
better
is
person. People connect with you. Like, I'm not going to change who I am because, oh, I have too many friends. That's not a bad thing, guys. That's not a bad thing. And my relationships always help me in this game. So while I get shit for it, I really don't give a fuck.
how is the Vacation Alliance? And are you worried now that it's so public that you guys are always going to be targets in future
No,
challenges?
no, I think that people are going to watch this reunion and it's going to be really interesting. Um, I'll be honest with you. I love those people. I will always have love for them. It's hard for me to even feel the way that even like doing these interviews, even like going to the reunion and having to kind of face that. It was so awkward and so uncomfortable for me. And it was so weird because outside of this game, those people have been some of the biggest lights in my life. They've been so helpful. They've always been in my corner. I can go on and on and on and praise um Tori and Devin and Casey and Anissa and Nani and Fessy that were in there for their friendship. But moving forward in this game, I really don't know where I stand, especially with Devin. I don't. I really. It's gonna sound crazy, but I after the reunion, I still even to this point feel a little bit uncomfortable with that alliance, and I really don't know where we're at. I really don't know where we're at. Like I don't know if we're gonna go back into future seasons and work together. I don't know if it's. I don't think that at the end of the day, I think that we're always gonna have love for each other, and it's not. I'm not saying I'm gonna target them or go after them. I don't think I could ever see myself doing that. But do I think it's going to be this tight unit how we were? No, I can honestly say that I don't think we will be. And it was from me watching back the season and seeing the way that people were talking about me in interviews and saying that I was a liability and shit like that, and having to watch that with my family was just really embarrassing when I'm like, damn, these are my people. And then also just the way that things went down in the reunion, it didn't answer anything for me. It made me even more. I left that feeling more uneasy than I did walking into it. So it's like I really don't know. Outside, we're still friends. We're always going to be friends. I'm always going to have love for them. But in this game, I don't know if we would play the game together moving forward. I don't.
Well, I'm a huge Big Brother fan, and I mean, part of me wanted to come in banging pots and pans when this interview started. Going back to that, and when you won Big Brother,
Yeah.
could you imagine how that would have just changed the trajectory of your life? I mean, what do you think you'd be doing now if that had never happened?
No, it's so wild, dude. I love this. This is probably my favorite question. um, it's so wild. Dude, I was the course that my life took. I could have never imagined that I would have become a challenger and that I would have been here 7 years strong, competing and doing reality TV. And I truly never thought that that was going to happen. I thought I was going to win the show and invest my money, help my parents, and kind of go back to my life. Um, be it working with my dad in his wholesale business or whatever it was, I never thought it was going to turn into a reality TV career for me. And that's exactly what it's become. In the span of the past 2 years, I've probably been hit up for every major show you could think of. And my loyalty has been to the challenge. And I think it will continue to be because the challenge truly has changed my life. I have traveled. I've met amazing people. I have grown as a man. I started this show when I was 23 years old, and I'm 30 years old. The challenge has given me so much, and I never thought it was going to become this. I was a broke. I was out of college, broke. My car got repoed. I had $600 to my name before I started this shit. Like I was going nowhere, and I had no idea the direction. I was praying to God for a miracle, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I think that a lot of people coming out of college feel that way. But if you would have told me that, I would have been here interviewing with you, and on my seventh season of the challenge, I would have been like, yeah, right. There's no fucking way.
Real
Yeah.
quick, final question I'm asking everyone that I talk to. Hypothetically, you go back for a season where it's pairs. Who would be your number one female choice as a partner, and who would be your
Rachel.
male choice?
Rachel.
Everyone
Um,
says Rachel. Everyone says Rachel.
Rachel. I mean, everybody could say Rachel, but Rachel would truly be my partner. And I would force Rachel to be my partner. I think Rachel, man. I think that she just gets me. She knows my heart. She knows you guys see the show, but competing wise, she knows that I'm gonna die before I fucking quit. I'm gonna fucking give it my all before I fucking give up. And she would be my ride or die. Rachel would be my ride or die.
And what about
Um,
guys?
guys, it would be tough. I want to say Johnny so bad, but I feel like we would be targeted so quick. We would be out of there literally before the game even starts. So I love you, Johnny, but I can't say Johnny. I think I would say Darrell.
That's
I
okay.
think
That's great.
Darrell or Derek or somebody like that. Like they've won, they're champions.
Derek Kaczynski or Derek
Derek
Chavez?
Kaczynski, Derek Kaczynski. The reason I would say was because playing 40 with them, I just saw how everybody loved them and everybody loved and I loved being around them and I loved having them in that house and they're just such chill energy and I'm the complete opposite. But they're also really strong competitors and they know what it takes to win. So I don't think that there would be huge targets in the game, but they would definitely, I think we would navigate the game really good. So yeah, guy wise, it would be one of those two.
All right. Well, Josh, congrats on being part of this epic 40th season, and
Hey,
thanks for chatting with Gold Derby today.
thanks, bud. Appreciate it.